up, y'all?
Good.
Doing another mukbang today. Today we got the lovely
Okay,
Agnes.
you know what?
What's up?
Before
What happened?
that, is it mukbang or is it mukbang?
So it's mukbang because it's a Korean word.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's mukbang.
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 Okay.
Yeah, like that. And then of course, the Americans, you know what I'm saying? They don't know how to say it, right? So they say mukbang.
Right. Okay.
But
So
it's-
mukbang.
I do believe the proper way is mukbang.
Yeah, for sure.
So we back with another mukbang. We got the lovely Agnes Mo here. If you ain't know, man, she's super poppin' actress, singer from Indonesia out here.
What's good?
You got like 50 million followers. It's crazy.
It's nothing. It's whatever, you
But
know.
tell me all about you. Tell me all about this. We're gonna get into all that.
Yeah.
What is this that we're eating today?
So basically, this is like a Korean barbecue experience in a box.
Okay.
You know, for busy people, you know, or like for people who just don't have the time to go to the actual restaurants. And honestly, like the whole idea, like, because I have, you know, a group. Really good friends of mine that always go to like Korean barbecue, maybe like 2-3 times per week. But then, you know, like they started complaining like, like we got, you know, like we, there's no way that we can just go to Korean barbecue all the time. And I was like, no, I agree. And I was like, man, I wish that there's, you know, Korean barbecue in a box.
They're like, I just washed my hair.
Yeah, exactly. and then the smell and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that idea just kind of like came to me, and then like I talked to Franco, which is, you know, my business partner as well, and he's not just my business partner though, like he's my like real best friend.
Okay.
And he's right there.
Franco, shout out to Franco. Just met
Shout out
him.
to
Nice
Franco.
guy. So we got like an at-home Korean barbecue situation, which is lit because, you know, I was just telling you, boy, with my babies, I don't go out anymore. They're so little, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's rare when I just can be like, yo, let's just go to K-Town and get some Korean barbecue real quick. So this is great.
Look at this, like, and you have like literally everything. It's the charcoal, it's the. Okay, so this is the brisket.
Ooh.
This is the brisket.
Poppin'.
Yeah.
Oh, it comes with rice as well. And some kimchi. Fire.
And hopefully in the future we get to add more, you know, like side dishes, like japchae.
Oh, I love japchae.
You know, but right
And it comes
now,
with a little tiny grill as well.
Yeah, look at that. It's like the kimchi and the garlic and the jalapenos.
Let's go.
And this is the short ribs. And by the way, we also have seafood, but.
Well, shit, man.
But yeah, I mean, fuck that. Like, I love beef.
Me too, girl. Me too. No pause.
And then not only that, you got like literally you got everything here. The disposable gloves, like if you feel like you need it.
We don't need no gloves.
We don't need it. And then this is like the charcoal, like extinguisher, whatever you call this.
Oh.
You know, so after you're done with everything, you just so everything is here.
Okay.
Really. So basically.
Show me, please.
Okay.
This is great, by the way. Not even because that you're like you own, but I think it's cool. You know what I'm saying?
No, thank you.
Because I love Korean barbecue, but like, you know, since I'm always kind of on the go right now, I just order it like cooked Postmates, you know what I'm saying?
And you know, like when we opened it, everybody was like, even from like Dubai and Malaysia and Indonesia, they were like, "Oh, are they here?" Because like they're interested. And then some people from Orange County, they wanted to do it, and then there was like one person from Arizona that's like, "Oh, is it available here?" I'm like, "No, unfortunately, it's like LA only." But basically, you just open this.
Okay.
And then
open a little grill up, yeah.
Yeah, and then like the charcoal is.
Oh, this is charcoal.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And it's actually super easy to light that up too. So literally all you do is just try to light it up. See, like, did you see like the sparkle?
Yeah. Oh,
like the red.
Oh.
You know, so that is when you know it's good. It's good to
Damn,
go.
that's cool.
And it's really fast, as you can see. It's like 3 seconds.
And this is cool for like people that just like to play with fire and stuff. Let me see, I can do it. If I can do it real close, so people can see. Okay.
Okay, just like light it up.
There we go. There we go.
There you go. So you can just like leave it like that. And so if you see that little like the red thing that's like yeah, that one.
Oh, and that thing just
right? Like you see that? So that's done.
Oh, that's like ready to go?
Yeah, that's ready to go.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So like mine, look, it's already ready to go.
Oh, okay.
And then just cook and eat.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Fun. Oh, okay. I feel the heat. Cool. Oh, and you got it all just in that little box. That's dope.
Yeah, and so like you just put it over there and just, you know, do your thing.
I'm very excited for this.
You know, and put on some vibey music and
Or
watch
just,
your most favorite Netflix show.
Or put on this mukbang and pretend like you're eating with us.
Exactly.
Did you know? A lot of people, they like watching mukbangs because like they don't have anyone to like eat with. So like they feel like they like a lot of people will tell me, yo, when I have my lunch break at work, I'll put on your mukbang and I'm like, it's like I'm eating with you.
God.
Yeah.
That's wow.
You're gonna say that's sad. Like wow, how
no, but it's
sad
like
for them.
especially for introverts.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, not a lot of people know that most entertainers, I mean, I don't know about you, but most entertainers are actually introverts. We're just like trained extroverts.
So, I mean, look, I'll tell people all the time, like, yeah, I'm good. You know, if I'm at events and stuff, yeah, I can turn it on.
Yeah.
I like, you know, being out and about sometimes.
Yeah.
But after I'm done, I'll be like, whew,
I know.
I just want to go
and I call that my social battery.
Yeah.
And then I always say that to like my boyfriend too. I would be like, "Hey babe, like I think my social battery's done. Like let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here."
You know.
I do a thing too. It's called the Irish goodbye. You know what that is?
No.
It's where you say
what is that?
when we're at a party or an event,
Yeah.
and then you just leave and you don't say bye to anybody. You just
so people don't know.
They don't know, so you don't have to do all the like 20 people. You just leave.
I should probably do that.
Yeah, girl. Especially like if you're drunk.
But what if it's like family reunion? How do I do that?
Ooh.
But sometimes like that's the
True. Well, luckily all my family's in Thailand, so I don't have to worry about that.
My family's in Indonesia. You're right. I don't have to do that.
You know what? I've never been to Indonesia, but I've been to Singapore.
Okay.
I love Singapore. Close enough.
You should go to Bali.
Word.
And a little plug there. I just you know put out my song called "Party in Bali."
Party in Bali? Fire.
So
Okay.
You know?
I mean, I would love to go to Bali. I know my wife would love to go to Bali.
Bali's amazing. Like, that's honestly like my favorite city.
Is it?
In Indonesia. I mean, like I was born and grew up in Jakarta.
Okay.
Jakarta is pretty much like, I guess, New York / LA. Because
Yeah?
everybody drives there, but we have so many tall buildings, kind of like New York. So, you know, like it's a city. But Bali, I feel like it's more my vibe.
Is it the same in Jakarta? Like, is it the same in Singapore where English is the
No.
No?
No.
Oh.
No. But I feel like maybe the younger generation, yes, like they start, maybe like English is becoming the, I mean, I don't want to say like first language, but like people know how to speak English. You know, let's just say that. But I feel like Singapore, I think like English is what, like their first language?
First language, yeah.
Yeah, but we're not like that.
And where were you born?
Jakarta.
Jakarta, okay.
Yeah,
And when did you come out here?
I want to say like maybe almost 10 years ago. See like how quick that is?
I know, I'm trying to make sure that I don't overcook it.
Oh my god, this is so good.
That's actually crazy because you don't see the flame flaming.
Yeah.
You just got these little random hockey pucks in there. That's great.
Exactly.
Okay. And okay, so if I go to Indonesia, right?
Yeah.
What is like an Indonesian dish that I need to try? What's like a signature dish out there? What do you like?
I want to say nasi padang.
Nasi padang.
Yeah, nasi padang is one of my favorites.
Okay.
And then gado-gado.
Gado-gado, what's that?
That's kind of like Indonesian salad.
Okay.
Well, peanut sauce, but it's like amazing. And then Indonesian fried rice, especially the street food. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I feel like, don't you think like in Asia there are a lot of like street foods that are like, you know, amazing?
Oh, girl, look, I'm Thai, so, you know, I tell people all the time, if you go to Thailand, you gotta try the street food. It might give you diarrhea, but it's worth it. Okay? It's worth the risk of diarrhea.
Oh my god,
because it's so good.
Oh.
Like,
you just have to get used to it.
Yeah, your body might not.
Antibody.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, your antibody actually needs that.
I always tell people.
So you're stronger.
Exactly. Like, it'll make you.
You can be spoiled.
Yeah, exactly.
All the fine dining.
Yeah. Tell your insides to stop being a bitch. Man up. Get some enzymes in there.
I know.
My wife, when we first went to Thailand, I was like, baby, you gotta try some street food. So we got some, some chicken, street meat on the side of the road.
Yeah.
She was fine until at night we were supposed to go to like a little lounge in the hotel. Yeah. We took the elevator all the way down. She was in a nice little like sexy green dress. Yeah. We got to the bottom and she was like, I'm about to shit myself. She was like, I'm literally about to shit myself. So she went all the way back up the elevator, back up to the room. And she was like, yo, I barely made it. She was like, yo, it was like Dumb and Dumber. You ever seen Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah.
So it's like, she was like, it was that scene in Dumb and Dumber where she was like literally going crazy. And, but you know, now she's fine. She's fine, you know?
I don't know what that tells about us when we could talk about diarrhea and we could still eating. And we could still eat. Like,
look, that means you're cool.
We're still eating this shit while you were talking about fucking diarrhea.
Well, that's how I know that you're cool. Cause like you weren't like ill. We're eating right now.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like.
That's how I know like if someone could actually be my friend in real life or not. You know what I'm saying?
So that's the brisket. I mean, I guess like we can try the short ribs as well.
Yeah. And you are a like pop star out there in Indonesia, yeah? Cause you got like so many followers, and I was like, I need to know more about this person.
Hopefully in a good way.
Well, yeah.
Not like what type of drama she's causing this time.
Let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. So like, you know, I know like, you know, K-pop stars, they really got to worry about a lot like their image and stuff like that, because sometimes K-pop stars get canceled for very like small things.
It's the same thing.
Yeah,
it's the same fucking thing. I feel like that's just entertainment business in general, right?
But you just said fucking though. Are you allowed to say fucking?
But that's the thing. I feel like you can choose who you want to be, and I'm not trying to be cliche about it.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it really depends on the person, right? And I think like as long as you're true to yourself and people know that that's not your intention, it wasn't, you know, it's not like I'm cussing people out, you know what I mean? Right. Like people know my energy, like I've always promoted great stuff and I've always tried to inspire people to be who they are and go for their dreams, and they know that I'm not this like, you know, negative bitch. Like I feel like people finally caught up to it, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? They're like, oh no, that's her. Okay. And honestly speaking, that's probably the reason why I could be in this business for like 30 years plus. Because like I started really young when I was 6 years old. You know.
What were you doing at 6 years old?
I released my first album and started kind of like touring when
I was 6 years old? 7 years. What?
And okay, so when you hear, okay, like she or he was once a child star, sometimes people think that, you know, like you live on this like pedestal, right? You're not grounded. But and I think like that's for me the reason why I'm just who I am, and I can talk to you like a real person and not like, oh, like I'm better than you and I'm holier than thou, is because I've always, you know, I don't want to say educate my fans, but just like tell them like, look, this is who I am. Right. You know what I mean? Like this is, if I want to say fucking, then I'm gonna say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's so important in this industry, right? Yeah. Because so many people, I feel like they have to act a certain way or do certain things, and then they feel trapped in it. Yeah. And then that's how you get like depressed, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely. So the fact that you can be yourself and do your thing.
And look, like I always told my fans, like I'm not perfect, right? Like who's perfect? Right. But just the fact that I'm able to embrace the mistakes that I've done and kind of like learn from it, that allows me to be human being. Because I want to believe that I'm a human being first before I'm an artist type shit. So it's like, hey, like if I'm not,
I'm burning. His bees burn a little bit.
If I'm not cool as a person, then how am I cool as an artist? You know what I mean? Because like if you think about it, artist is really like a product of, you know, your humanity. Like you as a human being.
You gotta be you first.
Exactly. And
sure.
then after that, you can create your art, right?
Yeah, and then I feel like because of that, people will like, relate to you and your art more,
Yeah,
the fact that it's not fake,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, don't get me wrong though, like I've been in a situation where I feel like, like I'm pressured to be this, especially I think like 10 or 15 years ago, the standards, especially like, Asian beauty standards for women are a lot more complicated than they are now.
For sure.
So I was once dealing with that, like struggling with that, right? Because like I'm more rebellious than what at that time like Asians would expect me to be.
Right.
So I had to like find myself. I had to like figure myself out, right?
I mean, I can imagine why. I mean, especially if you've been in it since you were 7 years old.
Yeah.
The struggle of dealing with like, you and your own image, especially in Asia, it's crazy. It's different than out here.
Exactly.
Because you gain a little bit of weight, they be like, she's too fat.
Yep.
You get a little tan, they be like, she's too dark.
Exactly. But I think like as much as I kind of like have a love-hate relationship with social media. Because I think like with social media, I mean, obviously you already know the bad things, from social media. But I feel like, people get too exposed to a lot of different cultures. So they're not just like, oh, this is one beauty standard that we have to follow, And I've always wanted to, other than, obviously like making great music, I want to be able to like share that message to the world that look, like while I'm also an artist, I'm also a human being, and I'm not afraid to show you who I am as a person.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's great. I think that like especially for someone in the industry like that, it's difficult to really be yourself. And not be ashamed of it.
Yeah, and especially like even like you, right? I feel like I probably people expect you to make jokes all the time. You know what I mean? It's like you gotta be funny all the time, right? But no, like it's one side of you.
Yeah.
There's like a whole different sides of you that I think like people, need to know.
Yeah, it was funny because like one time I was in Australia and this girl came up to me at a bar and she's like, wow, you're not funny in real life. And I was like, bitch, can I have a drink? Can I get a second?
Oh my god.
I don't even know you.
Can you imagine as a singer? I'm like singing the whole time. I'm like, Timmy.
Right.
Like that's. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I have to remind myself all the time. Like, obviously, I'm not the best at it, but I have to remind myself all the time. Even like on social media, like sometimes if I look at my posts and oh man, like everything is just feels so curated and it's like, oh, you can't see no pores, then I would kind of like break that by posting something super ugly, like just like just to like shake the,
just to keep it real.
Just to like remind myself and also remind my fans that look, like outside of this whole curated HD looking photos, there's this person that like if you're cool to get to know her, then I'm here, but like if not, I'm still here.
That's dope.
And I think it's really important, especially for like the younger generations, and because I have my niece, and it's funny because I'm actually also friends with my niece's friends.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And to me, like, I learned that, for them to be able to connect with you and kind of learn from you, look up to you, is actually from you being real and not, having to be like perfect all the time. So
and I think that's a good way to like navigate social media and stuff like that. Because like I said, man, if you just look at Instagram and you think that that's just how things are, it's an easy way, especially you start comparing yourself to other people on Instagram, because a lot of people only show the good, they don't show the bad, they don't show the pimples and the insecurities and all the regular stuff, but the fact that you are like a celebrity and you're like, hey man, look, this shit's not perfect, I'm not perfect. It's a great message to give to the young women out there in the world.
No, absolutely.
So out here you trying to you gonna like cross over? Are you gonna put out like?
Well, I mean, like when my first international single was with Timbaland and T.I. Bottle like 9-10 years ago, and then I put out a song with Chris Brown, and I was like the short blonde hair.
Oh, okay.
So And then I put out a song with Sierra last year called Get Loose.
Fire.
So, you know, and to me it's really not about crossing over.
Right.
It's more about me being a good student, trying to learn from, you know, people that I want to learn from. That's
great.
the reason why, like, I came over here. It's not really like, oh, so that I could get more money or so that I could get more famous.
Because you got money.
Exactly. Excuse me. Let that be known.
What's the Indonesian currency?
IDR.
IDR? Rupiah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, rupiah and dollars.
Okay.
Shit.
Let them know.
Let them know. But I don't know. Like, I just feel like when I look at my art, you know, I remember, and I told this, you know, story to a lot of people already. I had compiled this huge pink folder when I was 19 years old.
Okay.
And it has basically everybody that I want to work with in music industry. And it's like all the, you know, the producers, the songwriters, the dancers, managers, you know, like basically you name it. Everything is there. The first page is Timbaland.
Ooh,
so the fact that, like, in 2010, their team kind of, quote unquote, found me.
Yeah.
And we started working together. And then we actually started working together again last year. Like, the whole journey and how, like, now he kind of saw me as a colleague and not, like, you know, because, like, I've always seen him as a mentor. But, like, this time, the way, you know, like, last year, the way that he treated me was more like partners, you know, like colleagues. And to me, like, wow. You know,
I love
it's not
that.
just about charts, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like your own growth.
He respects you.
Yeah, like it's your own growth. And I think, like, sometimes people think that the validation, and again, like, you know, like, obviously I can only speak for myself.
Yeah.
But I think, like, my validation doesn't come from just the charts, right? But it's like the musicians that you look up to.
Yes.
Now look at you as, quote unquote, their equal.
Yeah.
That's like a whole different validation right there. You know?
That's so fire.
Yeah.
I think, you know, look, as cliche as it sounds, you know, I'm all about, you know, manifesting, believing in yourself, you know, like making shit happen.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like, look, man, I'm sure when you made your list of people you want to work with, I'm sure there was so many people that you know in real life who were like, she's silly.
Oh my God. Like, tell me about it.
Like, are you serious?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I remember one article, and again, like, I always told this to my fans. And again, I should have saved that article, but I remember an article saying, "What are you talking about? You're just an Indonesian," and it was written by an Indonesian journalist.
Damn, like that.
And I was just like, and obviously, you know, not everybody's like that, because, you know, most of Indonesians, you know, obviously, like, they were rooting for me, you know, but just you know, like, most of the times, jealousy comes from your own people.
They say that's that hometown hate.
Exactly.
They get mad that you popped off and they didn't.
Exactly. And it's not even, and I always say this to my fans, hey, it's not even about whether I have more talents than you.
Yeah.
But it's just that I took that first step.
Yeah, girl. And you kept walking. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I took that first step while you were there talking shit about me behind my back. And guess where you at? Still behind me.
Still there. On the fucking
there.
couch. Yes. 100%.
You know, so it was just kind of, you know, like something that I also have to remind myself whenever I feel discouraged. Because guess what? Even until now, when I'm still, you know, the most awarded artist in Southeast Asia with like 300 awards, you know, under my belt, I still sometimes feel discouraged.
We all do.
You know what I mean? Because you feel like, oh man, like, I don't know if this is like good enough. Especially
you start looking at what other people are doing.
Exactly. And then, like, you know, you being a perfectionist, you're like, oh, is this good enough for me to even like release this song? Yada yada yada. You know, but then, like, then I have to remind myself, like, hey, Ag, you know, when you first came out here, you didn't know that you were gonna make it. You didn't know that you were gonna, you know, work with Timbaland. You didn't know that, like, Chris Brown is gonna, you know, have you on his album. But then you did it anyway.
Hell yeah.
Like, why do you stop now?
Yes, exactly.
You know, so
I agree. I always have to, you know, of course, like you said, we all get a little discouraged sometimes. You feel like, am I doing enough?
Yeah.
Am I not working hard enough?
Yeah.
And then I always try to take a second and be like, wait, hold on, let me take a second. Let me look at what I've accomplished.
Yeah.
pat myself on the back a little bit, be like, hey man, you doing good. You know, just keep doing what you're doing, you know?
You know, like one thing that I actually want to ask you though, because you know, you being Asian American, right? I feel like comedy realm is not, or at least wasn't really known in the, you know, like our culture type shit, right? So how did you get them? Oh, obviously, I'm pretty sure like if your parents, you know, obviously like Asian parents, they want you to be doctors or you know, lawyers or whatever. So how did you kind of like, you know?
Well, I always say, you know, like I'm blessed because my parents were very my parents are super laid back. I think Thai people in general are very like laid back, happy, goofy, horny people, you know?
Right.
And, you know, my parents from the beginning were cool with me. Like, they loved that I loved, like, being on stage and performing. Like, they'd go to all my little plays and shit like that. Even though they knew what I loved doing, you know, they were still kind of like, make sure you get your degree, make sure you have a backup plan, all that. But they were super just supportive of me wanting to be on stage and wanting to be an actor. And so they knew I wasn't gonna be no fucking doctor. Right. You know, that just wasn't where my head was at. Yeah. And I think even, I always tell people this story where I knew that my parents knew it was real when, like, you know how Asian parents, they brag to their friends about what their kids do. Yeah. And my dad used to be like, oh, you know, yeah, my son, he's in school for this and that, and he does some videos with his friends or whatever. Right. And then one day, I heard him be like, oh, you know, my friend's famous on the internet. Oh no, he was like, my son's famous on the internet, and I was like, oh, he gets it. And for now it's like something real for him, you know? And I think, you know, when people started like just like recognizing me and stuff, they were like, oh, this is real. And I tell all the young Asians this, because they're like, what do I do when, you know, I'm trying to pursue a entertainment career and my parents aren't supportive? And I'm like, look, for Asian parents, they will start to support you when you give them money. When the money comes in, they'll be like, oh, okay, son, I'm proud of you.
Oh, man.
That's all it takes.
Yep, that's Asian parents right there.
They're gonna be like, oh, you can feed yourself. Okay, feed me too.
Oh my god.
Then they're not tripping anymore about the doctor shit, you know?
Yeah, the truth in that sentence alone.
Well, let me same thing. How about you for Indonesian parents? I don't know how it works. Like, how did they deal with, you know, your career and being an entertainer and singer and all that?
Oh, you know, because like both of my parents are former national athletes.
Oh,
so they were already not in the common.
Yeah.
So it's not like they were business owners or whatever, right? So they're athletes.
Okay, they understood like a different side of it.
Yeah, and I remember when I was, I guess, like 5 or 6 years old. I remember my dad wanted me to start playing tennis, but then like I just kept singing in front of the mirror, and I was like, you know, started acting in front of the mirror, and so, you know, my mom, just being a mom, and she was like, oh, maybe like, you know, we need to put her in some, I don't know, like acting classes, dance classes and whatnot. But it was like for a hobby.
Right.
And I believe she told me that when I was 4, there was like a talent agent saw me.
I see.
And then she was like, oh, do you want your kids to you know, have an album or like sing or whatever? But one thing that I really appreciate from what my mom decided to do, she asked me if I wanted to do it, and even though I was like 4 or 5 years old, right? And then I guess like she decided to say no because I was like too young.
Okay.
And then I guess like the talent agent or like the talent scout, right? She came back to my mom, asked me about the same thing, you know, at the same place, like kind of like the dance school or whatever you call it. And she asked me again, and I was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. But she made sure that all activities are done after school.
Okay, yeah.
You know, so like if my school is done at like 1 p.m., then, you know, she has to go to studio after that, like 3 p.m. or something.
She still made sure that was a part of it.
Yeah. And also, like, it kind of helps when I still got scholarship.
Dang. So you're smart too?
I'm a nerd. Like, I'm
really?
I'm a nerd. Like, I'm a nerd. And then I studied, law for like college. So I think like for them it was like, oh, okay, this is fine. she's fine.
What was your best topic in school? What'd you get the best math?
Yeah.
Wow, you're a nerd for real.
I'm a nerd. Like I think like when I was from like 17 till I was like maybe 23 or something, like I used to just buy math books.
What?
For me to solve when I was in the middle of tour.
For fun?
For fun.
Ew, you're really a nerd.
Because it calms me down. So I never understood why, right?
Yeah.
Until one day I was like, you know what? I think I know why. I think it's because it's very predictable.
Okay.
Math is like very predictable. Once you know the equations, you can solve it.
Right, and your life wasn't predictable.
Exactly.
Word.
And so your life is very like that. So I think like when you're in the middle of touring and then you don't know what to do, that kind of calms your nerves because at least like there's one part of your life you know for sure
that you can control.
Exactly.
What's your sign?
Cancer.
Okay, I don't know what that means, but
now I'm a Cancer. I want to say I'm Cancer Taurus, and my moon sign is Taurus. I feel like when it comes with work, I'm more Taurus than Cancer. My Cancer side is, I think like it's when I'm with my closest friends and my boyfriend.
Okay.
Not that you understand this, but
I mean,
what's your sign?
I'm a Pisces. And
I love Pisces.
And my dad is a Cancer, so I don't know. Look, every time I say some shit like you just said, someone's like, "What's your sign?" They always. Yeah, makes sense. No, that's dope. That's dope. I get that. I get that.
I think that the pushback came when I said I wanted to move to the US. That was when I felt like they didn't want to like say it, but I knew that there was, they weren't cool with me coming over here even to try to make it. And not like, oh, they don't want you to grow. Yeah. But it's more like, Asian parents, like they feel like if you've already established your career over here, then why do you have to start over? Like you have your money over here, you have stability, which is, understandably so. But I was really young, and so I was like, I don't know if like stability is really what I need right now. You know what I mean? Like I think like I need to feed my hunger, like my curiosity.
You want to do something scary?
Exactly. Exactly.
You got siblings?
Yeah, one. Older brother.
I was gonna say your baby girl. Of course, your parents would be like, I don't want you.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah. That's scary. That's scary. So was that scary for you moving here for the first time and like, and did you have family out here?
No. I literally moved here. I didn't know anybody.
Damn.
Not one person in entertainment business or just in general. Didn't know anybody.
That's crazy.
But again, like the power of manifestation, right? When I had that dream since I was like 17 or 8, or maybe like 19 years old, and I compiled that folder, I felt like it was there for a reason. There's no way that I all of a sudden, and mind this, when I was like 19 years old, especially over there, internet, first of all, social media didn't even exist, right? Internet was like one of those like modems with the TV,
plug it in,
like that whole modem. So for me to I was dedicated, girl, to use to Google everybody that I want to work with, and so I just felt like, hey, if God put something in me, like that thought, that dream, it means something.
You gotta do it, or else you're disrespecting God.
Exactly.
He's giving you a gift.
Exactly.
You better use that shit.
So like confirmation, like spiritual confirmation after spiritual confirmation, that I felt like, you know what? Like I was finally at peace with not everybody will understand what I want to do in my life, but I kind of have to do it anyway. Yeah. And I think like my parents' biggest concern was, well, obviously they're still our parents, right? So they were afraid that I got hurt. Especially like in another country.
America's scary.
Exactly. Like, like you're being an immigrant and then you don't know anybody there. The culture is different. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. But I felt like, I told my mom, Mom, like it's gonna actually hurt me more. Oh, yeah. If one day I just ask myself, what if? I know that it's gonna hurt myself more. And so when that happened, I feel like my mom knew that, like she's thought about it.
Because she has a little like, a little folder or something of the dreams she wanted. Yeah. And then she had y'all and it messed everything up. She was like, I was gonna join the circus, the Indonesian circus, and travel the world. And then these two little babies messed my life up. And she was like, yes, girl. Agnes, go. Live my dream.
Exactly. Oh man, but hey, what a life, man. What a journey, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. I know like how cliche that sounds, but I really wouldn't trade it for anything. Like even for the bad stuff, I feel like that's the reason why I have this personality. I have, like I want to say that the one thing that I'm proud of, myself the most is that I'm a kind person.
Okay.
And I know again, like that's cliche, but to me, like I'd rather be a really kind person and not be like, at the top of the world, rather than be at the top of the world and then people just, man, like she's a fucking bitch. Or, like, she's a fucking asshole,
For sure. Look, that's the thing too. I try to be super nice to whoever comes up to me or whatever. And I know like, some people might get annoyed, but I just know that, cause like when I was like, I don't know, 10 years old, I met a random celebrity and I wasn't even a huge fan, but I still to this day, I remember that. Yeah. So I feel like I know I might be annoyed for like 5 minutes, but that dude, whoever comes up to me, they're going to remember that forever. You know what I'm saying?
That's so true.
So I don't want them to be like, I met that fool Tim and he was an asshole,
Yeah. Well, obviously, we still have our moments, right?
Yeah.
It's like sometimes you didn't even mean it or
right.
like whatever.
Or you're
like,
tired.
We're human beings after all, but I feel like that's the reason why it's so important to know your direction first before you even come over here. And like in Hollywood, I guess like I'm just talking about like Hollywood in general.
Facts.
Right?
Yeah.
Because like a lot of people think that, no, like I want to come here to know what I want to do or like, to figure out what I want in my life. No, you actually have to know yourself first before you come over here.
Yes, or else you'll go crazy.
Exactly. So, when I came here, thank God, like I was already, in a stage of my life that, okay, like I don't know everything, but I know what I don't want and I know what I want. And that really helps navigate everything in my life, like choosing your friends, choosing your circle, making sure that you get to say no to the things that you're supposed to say no to.
Yes.
And not fall into
I was just gonna say
peer pressure.
If you come over here to Hollywood and you're lost already,
yeah,
and let's say you get a little bit of something going on,
yep,
you're gonna end up doing cocaine with some random person at a club.
Yeah. Or being a fucking some parties.
Yeah. Or some people's parties.
Some people's parties.
Yeah, and and you don't even participate in the baby oil orgy. But then
you can still be there.
Yeah.
And your names will still be at the fucking court.
And you'll be like, oh, we got pictures. Hey man, look, this shit was delicious.
Yeah, no, thank you for the conversation.
Girl, thank you.
I needed that.
No, this was great.
This is kind of like therapeutic for me.
No, you're cool.
I like you.
We could like hang out.
Yeah, I know.
Off camera.
Right? I know.
No, you're cool.
This is good. I love this.
Well, fun. I'm glad we did this. I'm glad we ate. Where can they find these boxes if they want to check that out?
So I mean, it's like an Uber, Postmates, obviously. Like that's the reason why. Well, obviously, people ask me like, "Hey, where's the restaurant?" Well, there's no really restaurant. There's just like kitchen and basically our staff to send this out to you, and that's the reason why we have the Korean barbecue in a box, right? Because like that's the whole point,
right?
But it's in Glendale, but we basically deliver to all LA area. Hopefully one day we get to hopefully soon we get to open one in Orange County and other cities in the US, and maybe we even would bring it to other country to like Southeast Asia.
Cool.
But we'll see. But this is KBox, KBox barbecue.
Amazing. Well, hey, shout out to you. Thank you for pulling up.
Thank you, man. Thank you. You're so cool.
You're so cool.
No, I like you a lot.
Me too. This is good vibes. This is real vibes.
I like this.
Well, since y'all, hey, thank you for watching. If you watched this whole thing, check her out, follow her on everything. Follow KBox. This shit was genuinely delicious. I ate all mine. And the plane is here. The plane is loud. So thank you for watching. Bye.